urgent for seniors. The vitamin that keeps muscles strong. If you're over 60 and you want to stay strong, energized, and independent, you're exactly where you need to be. Because what we're about to talk about, it might just change the way you think about aging, energy, and physical strength. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your muscles are quietly fading, even though your daily routine hasn't changed? Maybe the stairs feel just a little bit steeper than they used to. Maybe getting up from your favorite chair takes a bit more effort. Or maybe that grocery bag you've always carried with ease now feels heavier than it should. It's easy to think this is just a part of aging, that losing strength is something we're all supposed to accept. But what if that's not the full story? What if the weakness, the fatigue, the loss of strength, it's not just about age, but about something missing inside your body? Something almost no one talks about, but that nearly 80% of older adults don't get enough of? Today we're uncovering that silent deficiency. And when you hear what it is, and what it's quietly doing to your body, you might look at every ache, every tired step, every slow movement in a completely different light. But here's the good news. You're not powerless. In fact, just one small change to your daily routine, yes, one, can start restoring what time has taken away. You can rebuild your strength, reclaim your energy, and walk, lift, and live with confidence again. And before we dive deeper, if you're already thinking of someone else who's been feeling slower, more tired, or less steady than they used to, someone you love, take a moment and share this video with them. You might just give them the key to something they didn't even know was missing. Let's begin at the root of it all. Energy. Deep inside every muscle fiber, there are tiny powerhouses called mitochondria. You don't see them, you don't feel them, but without them, you wouldn't be able to lift your arm, get out of bed, or even blink your eyes. These microscopic generators are what fuel your strength. But as we age, they begin to wear down. They don't work as efficiently, they produce less energy, and you begin to feel it in every step, every breath, every moment. There's one compound that plays a critical role in keeping these power plants alive and kicking. It's called coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10 for short. It's like the spark plug for your muscle engine. Without enough of it, the entire system starts slowing down. And here's the thing, your body naturally produces CoQ10, but after 60, that production steadily declines. If you're also on statin medications for cholesterol, which many older adults are, that drop is even more dramatic. And that's where the fatigue starts creeping in. Not the kind that a nap fixes, the kind that lingers, that makes your legs feel heavier, that makes you hesitate before standing, that turns daily tasks into quiet battles. But when you restore CoQ10, something shifts. The fog starts to lift. Your muscles begin to respond. The soreness fades faster. The strength feels more available. Some people notice it after a few weeks. Others take a little longer. But the effect is real, especially when you choose the right form. Look for the word ubiquinol or water-soluble CoQ10. These are easier for your body to absorb and put to work. Most importantly, talk to your doctor before starting. It's a simple test, a simple change. But the difference it can make in your everyday strength, that's profound. If you're still with me, it means you care. Not just about adding years to your life, but about adding life to those years. And what we're exploring today isn't theory, it's the missing piece many people wish they'd known earlier. Because next we talk about something you've probably heard about all your life, especially in connection with bones. But what most people never hear is that it's just as essential for muscles. Vitamin D. Yes, the sunshine vitamin, the one your body can make naturally, but often doesn't get enough of as you age. You see, your muscles are lined with tiny receptors. Think of them as locks waiting for the right key. Vitamin D is that key. It helps your muscles contract properly, stabilize your balance, and react when you move. Without it, those locks don't open as they should. And that's when you feel off balance. That's when your legs start to wobble. That's when small stumbles become big risks. What's even more concerning is how common this deficiency is. If you don't get regular sun exposure, if you have darker skin, or if you're managing a chronic condition, your body might not be getting nearly enough vitamin D to support your muscle health. And the effects can be slow and sneaky. Slower walking, more cautious movements, fatigue that feels like it's coming from inside your bones. The solution? It might be as simple as a supplement. Most experts recommend 800 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D per day for older adults, depending on your needs. But don't just guess. A simple blood test can tell you exactly where you stand. And if you do need more, make sure you're taking vitamin D3, also called cholecalciferol. It's the form your body absorbs and uses most effectively. And if you're still watching now, I just want to say thank you. It takes courage to pay attention to your body, to seek answers, to ask, what if I could feel stronger again? So here's a gentle nudge. If this message feels true to you, please share it. There's someone out there, maybe even in your own family, who needs to hear that weakness isn't inevitable, that strength is still possible, that it's not too late, and now there's one more connection we have to restore. Because even if your energy returns and your balance improves, none of it matters if your muscles and nerves aren't talking to each other. And that's where vitamin B12 enters the story, not as a supplement, but as a lifeline. It's one of those things we often overlook until it starts affecting everything. That quiet connection between your nerves and your muscles, the signals that tell your legs to lift, your hands to grip, your reflexes to respond. It's like a conversation happening beneath your skin, one you don't hear until it begins to break down. When your body runs low on vitamin B12, that conversation starts to falter. Your muscles might still be there, but the instructions from your brain arrive late or not at all. You begin to feel unsteady. Your legs might feel weak, not because they're tired, but because they're unsure. Like they're waiting for a message that never quite arrives. And for many older adults, this deficiency isn't dramatic. It doesn't scream, it whispers, a little shake, a little delay, a bit of hesitation when you rise from bed or turn around too fast. Often mistaken for general aging, but actually something far more specific and fixable. The challenge is, as we grow older, our stomachs naturally produce less acid, and that acid is necessary to absorb B12 from food. Add in common medications, like those for diabetes or heartburn, and the issue compounds. You could be eating well and still falling short. That's why so many seniors are quietly deficient and don't even know it. But there's a better way. B12 doesn't have to come from food alone. It can be absorbed directly through the mouth, with tiny sublingual tablets that dissolve under your tongue, or even gentle nasal sprays. These bypass the digestive system completely and go right where they're needed. Into your blood, into your cells, into your movement. The results can be subtle at first, a little more steadiness, a little more confidence in each step, and for some it's like rediscovering a part of themselves they thought was lost. If you've ever felt that wobble, that shakiness that doesn't quite make sense, maybe this is the piece you've been missing. It's not about turning back time, it's about removing the weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. And if you're still watching, still listening, I want you to pause and breathe for a moment. Because if you've ever doubted whether feeling better is still possible, this is your reminder that yes, it is. Sometimes it doesn't take a miracle, just a small adjustment, guided by awareness and care. And sometimes sharing this with someone else helps them more than you'll ever know. There's another nutrient, one that's so familiar, so everyday, that we often forget its power. It's the one your parents told you to get when you were sick, the one that makes us think of oranges, of cold weather, of immunity. But vitamin C is more than a cold fighter. It's a muscle protector. Your muscles rely on something called collagen, a kind of scaffolding that gives them structure and resilience. Without strong collagen, your muscles may still exist, but they begin to lose their shape, their bounce, their strength. The tendons that connect them to your bones become weaker, injuries become more likely, healing takes longer, and the simple act of reaching, lifting, or bending starts to feel like effort. Vitamin C is essential for building and maintaining that collagen, not just a little bit, but every day in steady supply. It's the ingredient your body needs to keep those collagen fibers flexible, stable, and strong. And that's not all. Vitamin C also plays a key role in turning fat into fuel. It supports a process inside your cells that transports fatty acids into your mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses we talked about earlier, so that your body can actually use that fat for energy. Without enough vitamin C, that conversion slows, and you feel it as sluggishness. as if your body's holding back, saving energy instead of spending it. Many older adults don't get enough, especially if fresh fruits and vegetables aren't part of their regular diet. The standard daily recommendation is modest, but in truth, your needs may be higher as you age, especially if you're dealing with inflammation, illness, or muscle weakness. Strawberries, bell peppers, citrus fruits, leafy greens, they're your friends here. And if food alone isn't enough, a high-quality supplement can fill the gap. It doesn't have to be expensive, just consistent. The beauty of vitamin C is that its effects build slowly but surely. It's like strengthening the roots of a tree, quiet at first but powerful over time. And when your body begins to respond, you'll feel it not just in your muscles, but in your mood, your clarity, your sense of resilience. And that brings us to something deeper, something many older adults feel but rarely talk about. That strange mix of fatigue and tension, legs that cramp at night, a body that feels restless but exhausted, muscles that twitch or ache without warning. This isn't just old age. It could be your body quietly asking for something vital. Magnesium. This mineral plays a role in hundreds of processes in your body, but for your muscles, it's essential. It helps them contract and relax smoothly. It supports healthy nerve function. It's involved in energy production at a cellular level. When your magnesium levels drop too low, your muscles begin to spasm. Your sleep becomes restless, your energy dips, and recovery from even mild activity takes longer. The trouble is, magnesium is easy to lose, especially if you're taking certain medications. Diuretics, often prescribed for blood pressure or heart conditions, can flush it out. Acid reducers can make it harder to absorb, and yet few doctors test for it routinely. There are many forms of magnesium, but for older adults, one of the most gentle and absorbable is magnesium glycinate. It doesn't cause digestive upset like some other types, and it's well tolerated even for sensitive stomachs. With regular use, some people notice fewer nighttime cramps, smoother movement, deeper rest. It's not dramatic, it's not instant, but it's real. If you've been wondering why your legs feel tight after walking, or why sleep doesn't refresh you the way it used to, maybe magnesium is worth exploring. Not as a cure-all, but as one more thread in the fabric of strength and balance you're trying to rebuild. And remember, none of this is about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you learn something new about your body, every time you adjust, every time you share this knowledge with someone else, you're making a choice, a powerful one. Now there's one last piece, one that surprises many people when they hear it. A nutrient that's often dismissed because of its association with bodybuilders and young athletes. You might have even seen it at the gym or in commercials and thought, that's not for me. But what if I told you that this overlooked compound could be one of the most powerful tools for protecting your strength, your balance, and your independence after 60? Let's talk about creatine. Yes, that same creatine. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Creatine isn't just for people lifting heavy weights. It's not just for bulking up or breaking records. It's for anyone who wants to move with confidence. And that includes you. Creatine works by helping your muscles produce short bursts of energy. The kind you need to rise from a chair, climb stairs, catch your balance, or even walk a little faster across the kitchen floor. It supports how your muscles perform, how quickly they recover, and how much strength you retain from day to day. And while your body can produce a small amount on its own, that production also declines with age. Research has shown that older adults who use creatine, especially when paired with light resistance exercises like using bands or simply doing bodyweight squats, can experience real, measurable improvements in both upper and lower body strength. Not just in a lab, but in real life. Things like opening jars, lifting groceries, and standing without bracing. You don't need massive doses. For most people, 3 to 5 grams a day of creatine monohydrate is enough. It can be mixed into water or juice and doesn't have a taste. And if you're eager to see results a bit faster, some people try a loading phase. 20 grams a day for a few days before settling into the maintenance dose. But that's a conversation best had with your doctor, especially if you're managing any kidney-related conditions or chronic illness. What's most striking about creatine isn't just the muscle gains. It's the renewed confidence people feel in their bodies. The ability to trust your legs again, to stand taller, to move through your home without hesitating. That's not vanity, That's dignity, and it's something worth preserving. When all these nutrients come together, CoQ10, vitamin D, B12, vitamin C, magnesium, and creatine, they form more than just a list of supplements. They become a kind of roadmap, a guide to restoring what many of us have lost, not because of age itself, but because of neglect. Not intentional neglect, of course, but the quiet kind. The kind where we just didn't know what we were missing. The kind where the body keeps whispering, and we didn't quite hear it. But you're hearing it now. And that alone changes everything. Because there's something incredibly powerful about paying attention to your body again. About choosing to believe that strength is not something you leave behind in your 40s or 50s. It's something you can reclaim. Not all at once, not in giant leaps, but gently, steadily, patiently. And if you've made it this far, then this message is for you. You're not here by accident. You're here because some part of you still wants more. More movement, more confidence, more life in your days. And you deserve that. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it. Start small. Choose just one thing. Maybe it's checking your vitamin D levels with a simple test. Maybe it's switching to a better absorbed form of B12. Maybe it's asking your doctor about CoQ10, especially if you're on statins. Or maybe, just maybe, it's giving creatine a try and seeing how your body responds. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. You are not too old to feel strong. You are not too far gone to begin again. Every step you take toward rebuilding your strength is a step toward reclaiming your freedom. And not just for you. Because whether you realize it or not, there are people watching you. Children, grandchildren, friends, who are learning what it looks like to age with intention, with courage, with care. And maybe, just maybe, your quiet decision to strengthen your body is the ripple that helps someone else strengthen theirs. Some people think growing older means slowing down, shrinking back, fading quietly into the background of life. But I don't believe that. And if you're still listening, I know you don't either, because something inside you refuses to settle for less than what you're capable of. You've lived too much life, seen too many seasons, to believe that weakness is your destiny. The truth is, your body has been speaking to you all along. Through the little signs, the soreness that lingers, the energy that fades, the way your legs hesitate before they move. These aren't just inconveniences, they're messages. Whispers from your muscles, your bones, your cells, asking for help, asking to be remembered. And now you finally know how to listen. Because now you understand that strength after 60 isn't just about lifting weights or counting protein grams. It's about awareness. It's about giving your body what it quietly stopped producing. It's about choosing to rebuild, one habit at a time. It's about waking up and saying, not today. Today I move. Today I rise. And no, the journey doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It doesn't need a gym membership or a personal trainer. Sometimes it just starts with opening a bottle of vitamin D, or stirring a scoop of creatine into a glass of water, or calling your doctor and asking to check your B12. Small decisions that, over time, carry enormous power. The best part? You don't have to do this alone, because the moment you share what you've learned, whether it's a link to this video, a conversation at the dinner table, or a simple, hey, did you know, you become part of something much bigger. You become part of a quiet movement of older adults who are choosing to age not passively, but powerfully, with information, with intention, with wisdom. And maybe, just maybe, you're the reason someone else takes their first step back toward strength. Maybe your courage to act becomes a spark for someone else's change. That's the beauty of growing wiser. It's not just about you. It's about the light you carry for others who haven't found theirs yet. So before we say goodbye, let me remind you of something simple, but deeply true. Your muscles may have gotten weaker, your energy may have dipped, but your will to stay strong, to keep living, to keep showing up, that hasn't gone anywhere. And that will, it's stronger than any vitamin. Now go easy on yourself. Start slow, be curious, ask questions, test what feels right. Choose one thing today and follow through with it. You deserve to feel good in your own body. You deserve to walk with confidence. You deserve to live fully, not just exist. If this video meant something to you, if even a single part of it opened your eyes or gave you hope, please share it with someone you care about. Someone who might also be feeling a little slower, a little unsure, a little tired of not having answers. Your small act of sharing might just be the start of someone else's transformation. Stay active, stay strong, stay wise. You are not alone, and you are not done yet.